All right, I'm going to go ahead and start my process here for anyone who is curious. So I do these every week. They are generally, excuse me, 1080 by 1350 resolution, 72. Um, yeah, so it's 4 by 5, which is Instagram size, maximum Instagram size. A couple of things stay consistent every week, and that is the uh, sponsor logo in the top left, and also the text for the actual game information in the bottom. So I try to keep those all in the top. It's a good idea to actually keep them together. So, and honestly, when I'm designing kind of on my own, I don't like keep my layers very organized. But when I'm giving doing templates and things like that, I try to organize my layers pretty uh, consistently and keep them organized so other people can see what we're doing. So for this, I'm just going to say top elements. And then to get it on the other document, duplicate group, go to that, and then go back over here. You can't see it, but it's there. Just so you can see it, I will do that. So there you go. So these are always really fun for me to do because I can be creative on these. You can really do a lot of really cool and fun stuff. As you see, it's a little off there. I like to keep these. There we go. What is it, 13th? Yeah. It's not at Bobby Bowden Field. We'll say Waco, Texas. I'll spell out Texas. Okay, so you really have literally a blank kind of canvas based on just what you want to do with it. We've gotten obviously some people. Sometimes we do things that are more opponent driven. So last week's was see red. It was a red out, so it was pretty easy. I'll show you the week one. Um, Game poster was also, um, I guess, opponent based because we were playing the West Georgia Wolves, and I thought of wolves, alpha wolf, alpha dog, that kind of thing, and so that was a pretty easy one to come up with too, if it'll ever load. Yeah, it's loading. Anyway, so while that's loading, usually I start again with the idea of okay, who are we playing? Is there any obvious um, correlation that I can find? Um, this week we're playing Baylor Bears. Yeah, there's a million ways you could go. You like to keep the headline kind of very short phrase, 2 to 3 words, four max, five. I don't know, just whatever you can fit that looks good on a graphic, and it's generally between four, I'd say between 1 and 4 words that end up looking halfway decent. All right, so here was the week one graphic. Um, yeah, so as you see, Alpha Dogs gave it a little um, texture, and yeah. So this week with us playing Baylor, I've already kind of been thinking about it. The obvious thing is, to do something about Texas. Howdy is what I kind of landed on. So I usually do my text in Illustrator. So I'm in Adobe Illustrator right now. This is Photoshop. This is Illustrator. I'm in Illustrator that I'll do my text in, so I can use Illustrator's 3D function, which is always fun. So the first thing I'll do is I need to have kind of a cool looking art interesting looking font to make this kind of stand out. And I've already kind of got one in mind, and I don't know that I already have it on my computer, so I might have to actually look for it uh, on a website. Potentially, Adobe might have kind of something I'm looking for, but generally, um, there's a website called dafont.com that has pretty much everything you could imagine. You just have to know how to search it and know how to look for it. Kind of looking for not quite that, but something kind of in that family, I would say. Let's see. Something tells me I don't have the thing that I kind of want. Um, some of these are cool though. My NHL fonts. I have some MLB fonts too coming up. Good grief. Okay. Now that's not bad. That's not bad. I'm gonna come back to that. What is that called? P22 rough cut. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm going obviously for kind of a westerny look, right? Um, I mean that's eh, westerny look is obviously uh, what we're going for, but and that can be interpreted in different ways. Okay, so I don't really have anything that I like, so I'm going to go over to Chrome, and actually first I'll go to Adobe Fonts. Let's see, Adobe. All right. So let's see. Just type in Western and see what comes up. Um, hmm, something like this actually might work. The cool thing about Adobe Fonts, if you've never really used this website, is that you can type in, well, where is my browse all? Let's do that. So yeah, you can type in whatever text you want and see what it's got for you over here. Let me see, and then obviously go. Well, look at there. Western. I think this was the one I was looking at, but I actually kind of like this one better. But let's just kind of, that's kind of fun. With the like little, I don't know what they are, holes. They kind of look like bullet holes. I know they're not bullet holes, but yeah. So let's see. I'm just gonna, just in case I miss something that I really like, I'm gonna go through and just kind of look at them. I like that. That's kind of cool. I might actually just add that just for fun later. I like that. That's kind of simple. Some of these are just ridiculous. Like I'd never use some of these. No offense if anyone is like, "Oh, I like that. That looks good." Um, just for this, there's some things I just wouldn't use. Um, let's see. Yeah, some of these are starting to look all the same. Only one more page. Oh, okay. Okay. So I think I like this one, Ironmonger. It's either this one or I think I already have this, but I'll add it. Gosh, I want to add this one too. Okay, so I've added like five. So I think Ironmonger is going to be our winner here. So let me go back here. Let me see if it's loaded yet. Not yet. Go to Creative Cloud. Make sure that it is loading. Um, okay, for some reason, reset us here. Let me just make sure that, yeah, okay, they should be loading. Okay, it just might take a minute. Um, okay, there we go. There they are. So yeah, so a lot of them. Ooh, interesting. So this actually has several variations, which is cool, but I think I'm just going to go with this one. I don't know. It's a little wide. I don't know if I like how wide it is. Or the other one's ultra. Let me see what that looks like. Ultra. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like this. Okay. So once you've got this, let me squeeze it in just a little bit. See how far I can squeeze it. I like that. I like it connecting on the W and the D. Um, cool. So once you've got your text, right click, create outlines. There's a little, I like to combine everything. So I'm going to use my Pathfinder to unite this. So it's all one thing here. So once I do that, I go to Effect, 3D Materials, Extrude and Bevel. I will go just get this looking straight at me. I change the perspective as well. There we go. I want kind of some um, a warp effect on here as well, and I kind of want to like a flag thing going. Yeah. So I like that. Let's see. Show you what this does. This just kind of squeezes in horizontally. This does the same thing but vertically. Um, yeah, cool. I like that. Okay, so I'm definitely going to use some material. I want it to look kind of, I'll mess with the bevel and the actual 3D stuff here in a minute. But first, I want to look through here and see what kind of material I want to throw on here. I generally only use these materials when they look halfway decent. Some of them don't. That doesn't look bad. I don't want wood though. I want, let's see. And some of them just don't look natural. Like that doesn't look supernatural. Not supernatural, but super natural. Uh, all right. Let's see. I want something leathery. So let's see if we can natural as a cowhide. Yeah, cowhide leather. There we go. I don't know if I love that. Crocodile, black leather, uh, snake leather, fine leather. Sand dunes, no thank you. Let's see. Okay, let me see. I don't know. I don't know. So they have, I try not to do this too much because they don't always look the way I want them to look. Like you can go to um, the Adobe website and download more materials. I try to just go with the ones that they have already loaded, so I don't have to worry about it. So, okay, so I'm gonna go with fine leather for now. It's obviously too dark. Um, so I don't want that. All right, let me put a pause right here. All right, sorry about that. I had a phone call. I had to pause my recording here, so I'm going to look. I can change the color, I believe. Yeah. Luminosity, yeah, I can change the color a little bit. That's kind of more the color I want them to go with here. Um, see, oh, good lord, no. All right, saturation. I don't want it super saturated. I do want it a little. There we go. But yeah, they've got all these parameters down here that you can play with and kind of get an idea for how you can kind of, again, you can do it however you want. Skin detail rotation, yeah. And sometimes um, looks good, sometimes it doesn't. So let's see. Okay. I try to make the resolution high as I can. Okay, so let me go back and I'm going to put a bevel on this guy. Not quite like that. I just want to do kind of a, yeah, like that. And I want, let's see, And you can do multiple bevels. So kind of like that. Let's see. Can again make it higher, lower. I like I like that. I think I like that. Okay, so you can also, like I said, you can do multiple where they got two, and I kind of like two. Um, you mess with the lighting, although I usually do the lighting stuff in Photoshop, so I don't do a ton on the lighting here. Um, let's see. Sometimes I'll play with it a little bit here, but uh, generally I leave it alone and do it in Photoshop. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think I am going to mess a little bit more with the warp. Let's see. So my warp here. Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to take the one I already have on here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. All right. Let's see. Okay, now I like it the other way. A lot of this is a little trial and error. So just so you know, okay, I've got it essentially the way I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and Command C if you're on a Mac, copy it, just drop it in here. And I do it as a smart object so you can resize. There you go. So again, I don't know where the placement's really going to be. Not 100% sure yet because I don't have my subject in the picture quite yet. All right, we're back. Okay, so I mean that doesn't look like the leather that I wanted it to look like necessarily, but it'll do for now. Let me go back and see if there what'll have. I forget. I have to when I'm doing this, it is a little finicky. Okay, see what the heck? Okay, you keep trying to put me over here. I don't want to be over here. Uh, hide this. Okay, so let's go back to materials. I don't know again that you also can do this. This is going to make it look a little bit better. So I should have probably done that to begin with. So if you hit render, it's going to kind of smooth it out a little bit, although not a huge fan of how that did. Well, did it fast, I'll say that. Um, okay, so ray tracing is on. All right, so copy again. Again, doesn't really make it look as leathery as I wanted, but there are ways to get around that. See, it's a little bit clearer, but still not super leathery like I wanted it to look, but it's okay. Again, that is okay. Where am I going? Okay. All right. So I'll mess with the leather thing in a little bit to get it looking a little bit more leathery. The next thing we need to do is find a football player, a subject. So again, this is a lot of trial and error. This is a lot of like looking through and seeing, okay, who is going to be a good subject for this particular poster. So try not to use the same guy twice. First week I used an offensive lineman. Last week I used a defensive back. I don't know who I'll use this week, but let's see. It would be great if we had a guy who had a cowboy hat on. And I can always give someone a cowboy hat. Uh, Whether that's actually finding a cowboy hat online and put it in there, or just generating a cowboy hat on his head. Which a word on AI. I am a fan of using AI for efficiency purposes. I don't necessarily think that you should do your entire work on AI, but I am a fan of using it to make yourself more efficient. I used to do these posters and it would take hours and hours, maybe not hours and hours, but it would take a while depending on how detailed I wanted the poster to be. And a lot of that was searching for fonts, searching for elements to put into the actual um, composition, and then getting it just right, matching lighting, et cetera, et cetera. And that stuff is good to know, and it's great to know how to do that. And I encourage you to learn how to do that. But having said that, being able to just tell Photoshop, hey, put a cowboy hat on this dude, and it doing it, and not only doing it, but doing it and putting shadows and lighting and matching everything in there. Just a game changer, and it's something that I um, do not mind doing every now and then because again, it's useful, it's efficient, it's helps you get the job done faster, and so yeah, I'm all for that. So far, nobody with a cowboy hat. We have different kinds of hats, but no cowboy hats yet. I'm probably approaching the end here. We'll see. Stop running my mouth for a second. Hmm. I like that. It's kind of cool. I'll have to remember that this is something that exists. Um, Conroy Cunningham. Let's see. Okay. Da, 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 da. Sledgehammer. Interesting. Gosh, nobody with a cowboy hat. We're gonna have to pull out the cowboy hat next year. Um, should we get some people? We got a guy with a dog. Oh, hello, hello. I don't even know if this guy plays Ben Levine. I don't know if he plays or not. He was probably going to be like a freshman. Let's see. He's a sophomore. Okay. He's from Houston. Interesting. And he probably does not play, but let's see. That's okay. Yeah. Oh, no, he did. Okay. He got a catch this year. Okay. Oh, wait. No, that's 23. Never mind. But hey, he's on the team. So, that might be our winner. Um, yeah, these are good. No AI needed, at least not for this. I don't know which one I like better, if I like that or that. I think I like this. Um, the question is, did anyone else put on the cowboy hat? Yeah, they did. Who's this? Charlie Gilliam's another guy who's probably a freshman. Man, dang, he did a whole photo shoot with this. I do like these better, honestly. Oh gosh, you got cowboy boots too. Oh my gosh, this guy. Did he take any that were not in the cowboy hat? Is the question now. Some people don't look great in cowboy hats. I got to give it to him. He looks okay. Okay, I've already downloaded that. I think I like the one I just downloaded. Let's make sure there's no one else in a cowboy hat here, because I mean that's perfect. He's got the Texas flag and everything. I think that's all. Yeah. Okay. The rest of these are on the Bashinsky. Okay. So let's take old Ben Levine, drag him down here. Um, so I click on the lasso tool, which pulls up the mask option. So this has really gotten a lot better if you're familiar with Photoshop. The select subject is fairly new, and it's really gotten good at selecting uh, your subject for cutouts. Again, it misses a little spots here and there, but generally, I mean, that's pretty dang good um, for the computer just guessing. So yeah, so I go through and just like, again, carve out some spots, make sure there's not, see, there's just little places. I'll probably squeeze in anyway. Okay, see, there's that part of his number got lost in the background. Here we go. Around, there's just little spots. So when I do finish this selection, I'll go ahead and squeeze it in or contract the selection to try to get rid of some of that white kind of lining. Um, Gosh, this is always the awkwardest part, so my apologies. Um, let's see. All right, the hairy legs is a weird thing too for guys. You got to go through here and kind of do a little refine edge. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. As you see, it's a little blocky. So I'll just chop it out instead, freehand it. Okay. Do the same thing over here. Sometimes your hands are steady and sometimes they are not. Today they're steady. Okay. Do the same thing here. Just kind of cut out the little. Uh, Gosh, another way to do this is probably easier way to do it is the pen with the pen tool. All right. Again, I'm always shocked at how good it does. Okay, so once you do that, I've got these settings over here. If you want to look at you don't have to. There's just a couple of settings that I use on here that will remember it. And all right, so now I've got my mask. You see, there's a couple of areas that need touching up. Go. Uh, Everything else looks okay. But in order to see kind of what I got, I will put like a black or a dark background. See, now you can see kind of the ghosting little line there. So that's why I contract. 5 pixels should take care of it. And then inverse and just fill that with black. And look at there, it's gone. All right, so I do use smart objects quite a bit, and what you do is this kind of will keep your size, keep the resolution when you size it up, size it down. So I convert to smart object, boom, duplicate layer, put it in my scene there. Size this guy down just because, yeah, I don't want him. Okay, I don't know if I want to show the boots or not. I think something like this is probably best. Um, okay, that's. I'd really love to show the boots, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Okay, so top elements here. So you're just again, I can just lock those. That way you're not like messing with them. So I'll lock them for now. Um, game three. Let me see. All right, I'm just gonna see. Looks a little goofy to be honest with you. So I like it better like this. It's a little more mysterious. Um, yeah, so now start thinking about background. Obviously, a Texas background uh, is preferred. So here's what I would do with that. And again, goes back to normally. So in the old days, I would go to Google. I would search, Texas. I don't know, Texas desert background. And yeah, you just have to, again, this was the painstaking process of just having to go through tons and tons of photos. Now, granted, I have a subscription to a site that you can probably get these in a little bit more ethical ways, I guess. Texas back. Let's see what happens when I do that on here. That way, okay, well, that's not what I want. Photos. There we go. Um, hmm, interesting. Texas desert background. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you get kind of some of the same things. You could always, let's see, that's not bad. Some of these just look goofy. See, that says New Mexico though. I like being accurate to the climate, okay? Um, anyway, let's just say if I used that and see it's got the watermark on it, so I'm not going to use it. But um, that would be what I would do in the old school days when you didn't have something like AI. And again, I might. Okay, so let's just show you how to use AI. So you select your entire background, go generative fill, and I'm going to give it a very, very specific command. Um, Texas style background at dusk, um, tumbleweeds, uh, and old cow skulls in on ground. I'm just curious as to when it's going to pop up. Again, the amazing thing is that you can actually do this, and um, as you'll probably see here in a second, it'll give you something pretty good. Now, see, that's a little too close on the cow skulls, although it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Now, oh, I mean, that's pretty good. Um, I don't want the cow skulls to be so close, though. That's my problem. Although I do really like that. Gosh, that might be it, guys. That might be it. Um, I just don't like how freaking close the cow skulls are here. Let's see. Let's see if I generate similar, what it'll give me. It won't hurt my feelings if you. About the same. About the same. Okay, now I'll take out the cow skulls. Let's uh, okay, ground in uh, deep in the background. See how that adjusts it. It does feel like cheating, I'm not gonna lie. But again, it's efficient and it works. So, eh, yeah, none of those are good. Gosh, I really like that. I just want to, let me see, let me refine my, okay, Texas style background at dusk, or I'll say it's sunset. It's sunset, tumbleweeds, um, scattered cow skulls lying on the ground in the background. See what that does. Yeah, the more detail that you can give it, the better off you're going to be. So, dang it. I mean, look, they're too close up. We need a better, okay. I really like this. Either one of these are really good. I just hate this. I could probably fix it somehow. Okay, let me try again. Textile background. Oh, wait. Where the heck? Oh. There we go. At sunset, tumbleweeds. Okay, forget the cow skulls. Let's see. Tumbleweeds blowing in background. Middle. How to say this? Middle perspective. Let's see. What else? Okay. Looking down, I think, is maybe what I should have said, but we'll see what it gives me. Hmm, not terrible, but um, no, it's not terrible. But again, I think that I like the interesting nature of the thing. Okay, so let's go perspective and now formations in the background. Yeah, filmation. Okay, come on. Getting worse. Now that's not the worst. That's I don't mind that so much. Um, okay, we're getting there. Getting there. Okay, I like that. Let me generate similar to this and see what we get. If we get anything better, I do like that though. I like that better than the other one, and I like the coloring too. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I think that's the winner right there because I can see it over his shoulder a little bit better. No, I like that. Okay, so next thing I will do is match the colors between him and the background. So to do that, double click, get back into this, go up to image adjustments. We're going to go match color. You have to pick the source. The source is going to be untitled one, which there's another thing I need to probably do is save this so I don't lose it if power dies on me. So obviously you don't want it to be, that's a little too extreme of matching the color. Again, you can play with these and figure out what looks best for whatever you're doing. That probably is going to be fine. So say, okay, I keep this open, but you have to save it. I keep it open just in case I want to go back and change it. Once I look at it, close this probably. Yeah. See it? That yeah, I like that. I like that. I think that's good and matched enough. So let me save this before I get going too much further. Game, game three. Okay. One thing I always also do, just so this sticks out a little bit more. Like right now, it's not very easy to see. So I try to put a little bit of a there we go, a little bit of a gradient on there. Um, Another thing to do for your subject here, just to make him look a little bit more in the scene, I put a little inner shadow on him. And I usually try to match with the colors in the scene, that, again, that are a little more realistic. Sometimes they don't look great, but sometimes they look okay. Again, again, some of this is trial and error. You just have to kind of figure out what works, what looks goofy. Uh, So I don't like it so light though. See, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Anyway, it just gives it some dimension. Makes it look a little bit more like it's actually part of the scene. Make sure our sponsor logo is showing up good there. Another thing I will do is really adjust him with the camera raw filter. Um, So I always do this just to see what it does. Sometimes auto is a friend, sometimes it's not. First thing I'll do is go to the effect. The clarity really kind of brings out some of the details. You can also do texture, which again, as you see on his glove and on the football, it kind of affects that a little bit. I don't mess with that a lot. Curves, use curves a lot. The lights kind of pop those up. Sometimes I'll mess with the shadows, bring those up or down based on the scene. Here we go. Highlights, again, depending on what you're going for, mess with a little bit. You can do the same thing here. Those are a little more dramatic. I don't, it actually screws with the saturation. I don't like how saturated it is right now, to be honest with you. So I'm going to pull down saturation a good bit, the vibrance, because I want it to be kind of that westerny feel. Um, so let's see what it looks like. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. Um, okay. So let's see. Just go in and see if I like if it needs much else. I do know. I'll mess with this too. Okay, so I I copy this so I can if I mess with it, and so what I'll do now is I'll rasterize it, so that'll help me control the dodge and burn, which is what I do to give it some shadows. Um, oh, did not do that right. I try to do that to give it shadows. And again, make it seem natural, like it's part of the actual scene and not just some text thrown on there. Um, so I do a copy because I keep one copy that I can go back to if I screw it up too much and I say I don't really like that, so I make sure to keep a copy. I've gotten burned too many times. So with the sun coming from back here, the dodge tool. So the burn tool and the dodge tool. The burn tool does just what it says. It burns. It's like you've got a lighter and you're like literally burning. It's darkening everything, and you can use it too much. You can use it too little. Now the dodge tool is the opposite. It gives you like lighter um, looks right there. So it gives you it pulls out uh, the brightness of that. So another thing I like to do is mess with shadows on it. I like that because it kind of gives it more dimension, a little more depth, and it lets you see very clearly what it says rather than if it were like that and it's still kind of lost in the player in the background. So, and I always like to again use kind of tones from the actual uh, scene itself. I think it gives it a neat little thing. Also, another thing you could do, I'm creating a blank layer and turning on color blending mode. Use a brush, take my brush, make it about like that. And then take one of the colors back here in the sunset. And again, just kind of make it a little more like it's part of the scene and not just out of the blue. So let's see. And again, it's not going to be perfect. And I don't know if I like it or not. I'll see. No, I think I do. I think I do. You can turn it off and on, see what you think. Yeah, I think I like it. I think I like it. Um, let's see. Sometimes it takes a lot of just looking at your scene and going, do I like that? Does it need more? So you just start messing with stuff. Sometimes you can do it too much, and that's not good. But go give him some little shadows back there. Um, with the depth on these mountains back here. Uh, let's see. Okay, something else. Again, these are all just little things that I like to do that, again, are give it a little bit more interesting look. Just putting a little bit of a shadow around the edges. Um, so once I'm kind of to the point I am now and a little bit edging on done, I don't know. Let's see. That's when I'll start doing color lookup and kind of playing with the overall color, getting it like I like it. And that's kind of cool. I like that. Making notes of what looks good, what maybe doesn't look so great. Um, like that. The tricky part is picking one and going like and coming up and saying, okay, that's the one I want to do without going back and forth. Some and you can use more than one. Like I like that. Um, look up. I'll do another one because I liked. I'm gonna go from the bottom now. Eh, mm. And some of these you can mess with the blending modes and get something that looks kind of cool. Can't really see anything of that. Let's see if I were to go overlay or soft light. Mm, like I said, trial and error. Some of them look great. Some of them are like, oh, I think that's going to look good, and then it doesn't. Um, so again, trial and error, man. Okay, I kind of liked this. Yeah, I don't know why. That just looks good to me. That just really pops some of those colors. Um, so another thing I do to kind of give it an overall kind of gritty look is, well, there's a couple of things more. Let's see. This is the little, like I said, as I'm going through here doing this, I'm not naming anything. I'm not like, which is again a bad idea if you have a lot of layers. Right now, I don't have a ton of layers, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, it would be a good practice to name your stuff. So let's just say edge shadows, and for this bottom gradient. Um, that's just my text, so I'll just put everything in my text in one thing. I'm not going to worry about that. That stays there. And then our cutout, and then our background. Doesn't need anything. I have to delete this. Okay, so another thing I like to do is, again, with the sun coming from over here, I'm going to do a gradient that almost looks like that sunshine coming out of there, but I want it a little bit more yellow than that. Do that. Yeah. And maybe not quite so bright. There we go. So it just gives it a little bit of a sunshiny Texas afternoon look here. Um, Something I always do towards the end is create a color fill. So usually gray or um, black. In this case, I'm going to try it first with like a yellowy color. So you create it, go filter, noise, add noise, convert to smart object, say yes. Again, play with how much grain you want in this thing. That's fine with me. Go down to soft light, pull down the opacity, and there you go. You get kind of another uh, another look at kind of how it changes the color a little bit, makes it a little bit more golden. Um, I think what I'm missing is some flourish here, some little um, Texas flourish. And I don't know how I can easily do that unless I just made it myself. So, but what I might do, again, if you're stuck on stuff like this, always go to the internet first. What would I call them? Western ornaments. Let's see if Western ornaments gives me anything worth a flip. Uh, Not like that, no. All right, let me look at PNGs, see if we got anything good. PNGs. Okay, 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 okay. Hmm. Okay, getting there. Hmm. No, 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 nothing exactly. Let me see what happens when I hit Western. Something like that, something like that. Dynamite. What in the world? Some of this stuff. Okay. Western comments. Maybe that's gonna give me something. No. Got a bandito there. Double barrel guns shooting at you. Lots of cowboy hats. See, I could have always gone here and got my cowboy hat if I didn't have that perfect photo. Let me see. Okay, this is all stuff that I've just looked at before. Okay, what happened? Okay, and I'm gonna search Google for it. So Western ornaments, uh, images, not Christmas ornaments. Let's see what it gives me. Okay, so this is giving me some ideas anyway of ways things I can make myself. Um, okay. So here's what we're going to do. So I still have Howdy up here in Illustrator, so I'm going to make something myself. Okay. Turn off that. So, again, guys, this is trial and error right here. I'm kind of relying on what I've got in here. Let's see. Standby. Okay, let's see. Okay, back to what we were doing. Okay, so I don't super love that. Let's see. I want it to, let me see what we got here. Look in my libraries. Okay, this is my library though. I don't want, okay, what the heck is this? See, this is kind of, these brushes are kind of like what I'm going for, but not quite. Hmm. Okay, so when it's not quite what you're imagining, again, that's when you have to maybe go and look for something and emulate it a little bit. Western ornaments. See, why didn't Vecteezy have anything? Western. It's because you can take something and maybe manipulate it. There we go. Why didn't that come up earlier? Western flourish. Okay, okay. Now we're talking. Some of these are good. I think something like this is what I was kind of thinking, but a little more simple. Oh, I can probably. There's my cow skull. Okay, okay. I'm getting into some. I'm getting away from losing the plot here. Let's see. All right, go back up to the top. Which one do I like more? Is the question. That's too much. That's a little too gaudy. Are these brushes? No, these are the vectors. Okay. All right, so let me pull these in and play with them. Okay, so I like this guy. Oh, a little too large here. Okay. Hmm. A little too large, I think. Hmm. Okay, let me see. So I'll have to do the same thing on these because I want them to also be, play with the depths too. Oh, good Lord. All right, there we go. So I did fine leather, luminosity. Oh, oh, go. Okay, okay. I just need to. Why isn't it giving me the option? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's the perspective. Um, see, the only thing that's odd is I don't super love this one. Just maybe a smaller little flourish down here. Too small. Oh, oh, oh. Hang on there, partner. Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. Maybe. All right, my eyes are starting to gloss over now. Let's see. Is that cutting off right there? Interesting. Okay, so if I wanted to bevel this, go, why is it not? Oh, whoops. Yes, bevel this too. Okay, so I kind of want it to go in here. Okay, so I'm going to try to do something once I get this into Photoshop. So I'm going to take this, copy it, move it on over here around the same place where I had my text. For I'm going to do pixels instead of smart object. Actually, no, I'm not because of, dang it, did it small. Oh, actually, no. Once I resize it like this, there we go. Okay, okay. So what I'm going to do and get it roughly around the same size. Okay, now I'm going to copy the, come on, there we go. Now I'm gonna copy these separately. Copy, copy, copy. Paste as pixels. So now I can kind of, big did I have those? Let me see. Good grief. No photo love. There we go. Nope. No photo love. Come on. Just all right. It's not being nice to me right now. So what I want to do now, actually, you know what? I did not render these, so I need to render this guy, both of these guys. Render. Okay, actually, I do not want, I need to do them separately. Copy, copy, copy. Paste pixels. Okay. That one. Okay. This one. This one, there we go. All right, I gotta block this so I'm not clicking on it constantly. Okay, control click. So I'm trying to give the illusion that it is interacting in some way with the. Let me go back. First of all, I'm gonna put a mask on that. Click this. Go back up. So now I'm gonna try to erase a little bit of this again. So it looks like it's kind of interacting, although it. There we go. Let me do it this way. Right. So what I was saying was you're trying to kind of make it look like, oh, it's interacting in some way with this. So it's going behind it and it's going through it. It's kind of a part of it, right? So I think that's pretty good. It looks like it's kind of interacting with it. Now, do I like it better? Let me pull both of these down, actually, down to where we are in our text. Oop, there we go. All right. So now I'm going to pull it down into our text and put this, I'm going to put it over the whole thing rather than just the one thing. So now it's on all of it, and I can delete our old thing, although I will take the drop shadow and drop it back on to this one. Boom. There we go. I like that. Okay, okay. Now we're talking. We're cooking with a little gas here. So cool. Gosh, I am trying to think if there's anything else that we need to do to this guy. Like I said, I put the I'll go through and kind of just break down these layers as I've done them. The top elements here are just the text at the bottom, the sponsor logo at the top. Our color lookups kind of give us a little bit of depth, a little bit of cool, crisp color toning, and it also helps blend the background as well. The grain just kind of adds a little, again, depending on what color you use, adds a little bit of color there. You know what I do want to do is I'm just looking at it. I do want to darken his face a little bit. Okay, so that's our sunlight. So we'll just call that our sun. Our edge shadows around the corners, our bottom gradient to make this stand out a little bit more, our color sunset on the actual text. Let me see if there's anything else I can do with this text. I don't know, just to play. I might not like anything, you can just, again, play with some stuff. And sometimes you play with it and you're like, I don't like that at all. And other times you're like, that looks really good. So, nothing, I think it's fine the way it is. Then our cutout is there. Look at what's going on with him. I put a little shadow down there to kind of de-emphasize that. We've got the inner shadow on him. We've got the smart filters, the camera raw stuff on him to make him pop a little bit more. Then we've got our background. With him, let's see, let me lock that as well. So I'm going to do something here. Not curves, levels. For the love. Okay, so go away curves. I don't want you on there. So we go levels. So change the blending mode to multiply, it darkens everything. You invert the mask, and that way you have something that you can paint on. So you go with white, and you're painting kind of dark on to him. So I want his face to be a little darker. There we go. Just little parts. So again, it's kind of highlighting some areas like this a little darker. This really doesn't matter, but since it's down here and it's out of the way. I'll darken it too. Okay, so, and I'll show you kind of what this is doing. It's easier to see what it's doing when uh, you turn it off and on. So before, after, before, after. All right, so you can do the same thing with highlights. So you go levels, instead of multiply, you go screen, and then you invert, and now you can paint on highlights. So sometimes you can do this to make people's muscles pop, like boom, you've got big muscles there, you got this. See, it's almost like you're putting lighting on, or improving lighting, I guess. I do want to mess with his hat a little bit. Again, very subtle things, but useful at the end of the day. Let's see. Again, I'll turn them off, turn them on, just to show you kind of what it's doing. It's just giving us some little highlights. All right. So the only other thing I'm going to do, I don't really love, it seems a little dark, so I think I'm going to go back in and mess with this a little bit more and lighten it up a little bit. So a good way to do this, so you can do it not just to this, is you can make it a smart object. That way it just combines everything. And now I can make it a little bit, oh crap. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it's going to rasterize it. So make a copy, turn off that unless I mess, in case I mess with it and I don't like what I've done. Yeah. Yeah. Now, see, now we're talking a little bit brighter. Um, okay. Okay. Now it's looking really westerny. So I like that. Cool. Well, there she is. This will be posted tomorrow. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I don't think I am. The only thing that causes me a little bit of pause is not having, well, the bulldog is right there. Um, all right, text from mom. So, all right. Another thing, so that's something I did with this is put a little bit of highlights behind him or like lights. That might also help here. So it's funny, again, you might think you're done, but then you start looking at it and going, how can I improve this? So maybe that would improve it. Again, making him stand out a little bit more. Mm, and again, maybe not. Mm, no, don't like it. Let's see. Let me try something lighter. It can really shine. Okay, well, I don't mind that. Let's see. Again, off and on, off and on. He pops a little bit better. Okay, okay. I don't mind that so much. Okay, well, cool. I think I'm good. All right. Well, if you have any questions about said graphic, or you're creating your own and you want to send it to me to critique or look at, please feel free. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to end this sucker. Thank you.